Hey everybody, welcome to Cheesehead Trucking. Welcome back if you're a repeat offender. On today's episode, again we're still grinding. The grind continues, the journey. I'm just gonna go with that now. The journey continues. We're level 11. We're on our way to level 20. Then I'll be happy, and then we can start. Have my own truck. This truck instead of POS. Anyway, I don't know why they chose red. I'm not a big fan of red. Just saying. For any vehicle, let alone this thing. But anyway, let's go. Where are we going today? Kansas City to Natchitoches. 589. Going south. Alright, let's go it. Look like a decent truck. Kenworth or Pete. Didn't look like one of them Freightliners again. Or Western Stars. I guess we'll find out. We're going to start at night. It's Sunday at 10:24 in the morning, so let's see if that's true. Last couple jobs have started at night. So if you're wondering why that's Cheesehead Trucking, it's because I'm from Wisconsin and we're cheeseheads. Alright, let's get this show on the road. I don't recognize the gauge cluster on this one. Shift it into gear. And let's take a look around before we go. Where do we want to go here? I think we're going to go a little to the right this time. Yeah. Otherwise I pull out and go left and I'm like, son of a... Oh, I would have went the other way. Oh. Really got to really give her. But yeah, Cheesehead Trucking because of no other reason. Let me out of here. I think I just killed the Mr. Lady. I can't find my controls there. Good. Turn signal. Kansas City. It's Kansas City, Missouri. Hey, great. Fuel. Looks like I'm gonna need fuel pretty early. Fair. And I did, if you've been following or haven't been, one of the first couple of things that I worked on is fuel economy. That allows you to, oh you son, allows you to, I'm not a yellow light runner. I don't want to get that ticket. By getting the fuel economy, then you at least get better fuel mileage. It's a gas mileage, but it's not gas, it's diesel. Let's see what this says, if it has anything for that. No. It doesn't give me the, whatchamacallit. Sorry. It doesn't give me the fuel left in the tank. Mileage to empty, I guess. Like my Peterbilt does, I like. Man, I don't mind the gauges. They look alright. Actually read them. I always just look at the GPS. The speed anyway. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that looks to the right instead of straight down to see what the speedometer says? Look at the GPS, go, okay, I'm doing. Well, I want to know what the speed limit is. It changes so much on some of these roads. Every second, it's like 55, 65, 55. Sounds like an auctioneer. Get on, make everybody. That was my best impression of an auctioneer. Not very good. But anyway. Old. So yeah, the grind continues on this one. And I typically, if you're new, or old, whatever, old, or a repeat offender, I typically come up with the question of the day. Topic of the day, question of the day. A little more with the question of the day. And I kind of play off of that. Instead of just dead silence. I mean, do you prefer dead silence? You want me to just drive and shut the hell up? That's fine too. You tell me. Put it in the comments. You were like, just shut up, dude, and just drive. Because I'll put some earbuds in and just jam out to some tunes and hear one or the other. Configured interaction. I'm so used to live streaming. Because I've been doing it for so long that I gotta keep talking. I'm gonna just keep rambling on about nothing. So, today's question of the day. Yesterday was what your last video. Yesterday. It was yesterday, but the last video, last trip was what's your favorite fast food burger? Mine was a double Whopper with cheese, bacon. From Whopper. Each one. But anyway. I hope all of you all put it in the chat. I do record in advance. Just so you know. I want to stay ahead of schedule. Because I upload 6 videos a week to 2 different YouTube channels and then 1 extra live stream on Sundays for the Twitch channel. So, and the Sunday thing has been going for 12 years. It'll be 12 years. 2014 I started that. Started live streaming. Not on Twitch, but in general. I had a YouTube channel a long time ago and I deleted it because I got mad at YouTube. Biggest mistake I ever made. It was a decent channel, decent sized channel. And I went in and in a fit of rage. Yes. Went in and deleted the whole channel. So it's gone. Not that, no, not that. Man, the speed limit. As soon as I set the cruise, it's gonna go up. Anyway, so I've been doing it on YouTube, and then I kept switching back and forth between YouTube and Twitch. And now I've just settled on Twitch for live stream. I thought about for this channel. I'll get back to the question of the day. I thought about doing live streams on this channel as far as like say a Sunday. Doesn't matter. Really, there's no other time for me to do a live stream. I thought about Sunday afternoons. But it wouldn't be every Sunday. It would just be. Let me change here. It would probably be Sunday afternoon, like 2 hours. You know, it really depends. I want to wait till I get longer trips. You know what I'm saying? You know, because to me, to do a live stream, it doesn't pay to do one for now. I'd rather do one for 2 to 3 hours. And get a longer trip. Get one that goes from Seattle, Washington to Louisiana or Texas or something like that. Put some miles on it. Make it worth doing it. Then you guys can jump in the chat. Yes. If you're so inclined. Well then for vehicle inspection. And last video I got to go around. Felt sorry for me. This one's gonna be like 4 stops to make up to the last video. Last trip. If you're wondering what I'm using for equipment as far as my driving gears and stuff, check out the description down below. If you have any questions on that stuff, let me know. As far as well, how are the brakes on the G29? I know that's a common question. I've looked it up on YouTube. I looked up the steering wheel and stuff on YouTube and get reviews, you know, before I purchase, because they're not cheap. I got this one relatively cheap. I got it on Black Friday, so it was relatively cheap. I think it was around $200 or something. Took forever to get here, but I did get it finally. No, it wasn't Black Friday. It was like around Christmas time. But I still got it on sale. Brakes are fine for this game. I've heard that the brake pedal is a little stiff. I personally don't notice. I mean, your brake pedal should be a little firmer than your gas pedal. If your brake pedal is as soft as your gas pedal, there's something wrong with it. Something wrong with your brakes. That's what I would say. Wow, that's way too soft. If you can press your brake and it goes right straight to the floor, then you've got problems. I don't know if this is a yield or a stop sign. I think it's just a yield. It should open your pwned or deboned from the right side. These are some weird intersections here. I don't get them. I don't get them. You got 2-lane roads that are freaking 70-mile-an-hour speed limits. Let's see. Not that you can remind me, but I need to get fuel. Somehow I gotta remind myself to get fuel before the light comes on. Anyway, back to the steering wheel. Yeah, so I don't have any issues with it. You can play with stocking feet or whatever. This is for trucking. I don't know how it would be for like doing rally racing, that kind of stuff. Or playing GT7 or something like that. The racing cockpit itself, the GTPLAYER, that was it. I'm about 5'9". I have no issues. I could see that you could easily be 6 foot, maybe 6 foot. And your mass, right? So you could be 6'2" and 110 pounds. You're skinny as hell at that weight, height, but ratio. But as far as this is gonna change, I know as soon as I get up to speed. But I mean, if you're 6'3" and 4 bills, well, you're pushing it. You might want to look in a different direction. Custom build yourself a racing cockpit. That's what I would do. Contact your local fabrication shop and have them build you one. And actually, it might even be cheaper than this one. I think this one was right around $400. They were taking a few dollars. I don't know what tube steel is as far as that goes. But you can have them make you the spec. Get it painted the color you want it. This one's just black. originally when I got this one. Before I put it together, I wanted to sand it down a little bit and paint it white. But I stuck with the black. And as far as the button box, I think it's awesome. It is. I mean, it has everything already relabeled for you, essentially. And your air brakes, and your blinkers, and your high beams, low beams, all that stuff. Wipers, diff lock, trailer disconnect. All that good stuff is already programmed into the computer, into the panel. It's already lit up, and you can change the color of the lights. It's super easy to program. And I didn't get the one with the CB on the side. I don't intend to do the CB thing. Maybe I'll buy a standalone one if I come to it eventually. Say I start doing some multiplayer down the line. But in the immediate future, I don't see that. I don't want to get leveled up. I like the traffic, and I mean, I don't like the traffic, but I like the traffic aspect of it. Seems too arcadey if you're just playing without any kind of cars around. And if you turn off traffic defenses, all of that stuff. The only thing I have turned off in my gameplay settings is the driver. But I don't have the rest three. I gotta get this. But now, back to the topic of the day, which we didn't get to yet, or I didn't get to yet. Almost 20 minutes into the video, and we haven't got to the topic yet. Alright, if you could go on vacation, all expenses paid trip, where would you go? We'll give you 2 weeks vacation to go somewhere. And no, let me stipulate this. I'm not going to send you to Las Vegas and give you unlimited cash. This is all hypothetical situation here. You could go on vacation and, you know, anything you wanted to do sightseeing wise would be covered. Food, drink, whatever. All inclusive, I guess, is what you would go by. Where would you go? You go on vacation to anywhere in the world. Boy, that is a good question. A lot of people most likely probably go, I'm going to Hawaii. Or the Bahamas. Okay. That's what they consider vacation, is to go somewhere where it's really warm. Hey, you do you. That's how I see it. I need to get over it. I prefer... I mean, I don't mind it warm, but I'm not going to sit on the beach. I'm not that guy. First of all, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to go sit on a beach and get a tan. I'd rather see things. Oh, I'd love to go to Switzerland. Go see the Alps. Take some scenic train rides. That'd be my go-to. If you're wondering what I would do, I'd go to Switzerland. Or in that general area, you know, go check out the sights, because it's so beautiful. Stay in like a chalet or whatever you call it, big giant mansion thing. Shit, I should have got gas. Empty. Why didn't you tell me? It's supposed to remain. that's where I'm going to go to Switzerland. I think it's just beautiful there. You know, I'd be taking hot air balloon rides if there was one. Maybe. Man, have you ever seen some of them sketchy hot air balloon rides? They don't always just land, you know, they drag across the ground. It's not for me. If you could just every time just nestle down like an old man easing into a bathtub, sure, it'd be great. They don't. They just land. The wind blows them. They tip over. They drag across the dirt. So, but like a little airplane rides or helicopters or whatever. Check out the sights, gondolas, whatever they call those things. Rams. Maybe even some goat coasters. What do they call those? Mountain coasters. And do those. I think it's just beautiful there. So I could spend 2 weeks there. That'd be my go-to. There's a lot of places I'd like to go. In Scotland, Ireland, and stuff like that. I think that's beautiful stuff. I think to spend 2 weeks in Scotland would be. And you almost gotta have. I'm sorry. Even you just you and your spouse would not be enough people. You want to go with a group, I think. But then, okay, there's upsides and downsides to that. Downsides to the group is there's always somebody who's like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. So, we climbing a hill of this thing puking out on the cruiser. I think we're just on a hill. 380 miles left. Yeah, that's not kind of thing. Yes. So where would you go if you could go for 2 weeks? Expensive, all expensive. Again, I'm guessing a lot of people would be Hawaii, Bahamas, Tahiti, Cancun, Cozumel, all these fancy places. That's warm, tropical. I could give two squats about all that. I'm not gonna go on vacation and spend all my time laying in the sand. Now, it's like as far as the cruise goes, even with a cruise, I would rather take an Alaskan cruise than to go to the Bermuda, you know, like go to the Caribbean. Yes, go to like the Bahamas and all these different places in the tropics. I would rather just take an Alaskan cruise. I think that'd be awesome. It's probably because I'm a certain age, but I can't blame it all on my age. He's gonna move over regardless. It'll cause traffic jams and all stuff. Down to 50. Oh, is it 50? Yeah, it is 50. Yeah, I would. Maybe I mean, it doesn't have to be Alaska in the wintertime. I want to, you know, or even Switzerland in the wintertime. I don't know if I'd want to go in the winter. I know they're in the Alps and they got mountains and stuff. I guess that should be in this thing. But, I don't think it's always snowing there. In Switzerland. I don't know what the climate is. I guess you'd have to check that out. I mean, it may be snowing, but is it 30 below zero? I don't mind the snow. I live in Wisconsin. It's snow, so what? I mean, 30 in snow is way better than 30 below zero in snow. like we get here. Gonna get to go yet? That is just a pitiful horn. This is a truck or a moped? Come on. Yeah, that would be my... destination. Armor's Barn. I'm guessing that's kind of like a Home Depot or something like that, or that they couldn't use. I wonder what it would cost. Do you think that'd be just free advertisement for these places, right? Or in-game? You know, if it's like, hey, can I use your store in my game? It's just going to be free advertising. Why would you say no? No, we want you to pay us. You know, like you can't have a McDonald's. It's free advertising. Oop. We want you to pay us. We want royalties. Everybody's about that money, that almighty dollar. In the long run, it would come out on their favor, in their favor anyway, in my opinion. It's not like you can pull in there and go shopping, or pull in and get a burger. It's just a picture, it's an image. Again, like a billboard, it's advertising. You see enough McDonald's signs, McDonald's restaurants, like, damn, you know, I haven't had McDonald's in a while. You know, I'm gonna go get a. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get a milkshake because this damn milkshake machine's broken. But, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's free advertising. So like Home Depot and Lowe's and all those different home stores. Why would you not want that? Why would you not want your stuff in the game? Even the car dealerships, Ford, Chevy, BMW, whatever. Why would you not want it? I mean, they got Subaru vehicles in here. Why would you? I would slap some Subaru dealerships in. Why are there no gas stations on this? This is like, there's no fuel stops out here. Why not? 300 miles to go. This should be a great spot for a fuel stop. So anyway, as I was saying, I recorded in advance. Today's actual date, fuel stop different. Today's actual date is February 5th. So you guys aren't seeing us until March something or other. But it's being recorded on the 5th of February. Because, again, I have a busy schedule with work, and that's why I need to record when I can, and because I gotta upload 6 videos a week, I gotta get ahead of schedule on both. You gotta stay ahead of schedule. Oh, I wasn't the only one that needed fuel. Yeah, stay ahead of schedule so that I don't miss out. I try to get 3 videos a week, and I've been able to up to this point on one channel. So I'm trying to stay ahead on the 2nd channel. As well. The other channel, my Snowrunner channel, which there's a link to It's a channel dedicated strictly to Snowrunner. Again, that's down below in the description if you're so inclined. You know what? I'm gonna get it this way so I can see what the hell I'm looking at. That was gonna be good. Dude, you're just gonna let me. Not the guy was gonna let me out. Why was he stopping? What the hell? What's the deal, people? You know what? If you are gonna let me out, I'm gonna go. Now I'm out. Now you're gonna have to wait. Oh, but oh, the truck. Come on, get on the side of the road here. There we go. Sorry about that. Apparently one of my clamps let loose on my steering wheel. I turned it, reefed it around the car. I gotta get it bolted down better. Get a couple bolts in there to hold it. Right now I just have the desk thing, so I gotta change this back. Okay. Shit happens, right? Like turning. I was like, thump, the whole steering wheel's in my hand. I'm like, oh shit. I can't do it. Yeah, my other channel. That's right. Snowrunner. If you're inclined, there's a link to it down below. Right below the equipment. Just keep scrolling down to the bottom. It'll say my YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out if you'd like. If you're in here from that channel, just say hi. Say, hey, I came over from Snowrunner. Damn cop. At least I got a full tank of fuel and we'll get another way to the rest of the trailer. I mean, yes, my lane is ending. Oh, Margaret. Downhill, we can catch up. But yeah, the channel's all Snowrunner, the other one. I don't play on with the steering wheel on that channel. It's strictly PlayStation 5. If this game, oh, I better get out of my way or I'm gonna push him. Alright, well, this guy's ahead of me stays where he's supposed to. Alright. I don't believe I'm gonna get this game on PlayStation. Even if it does come to console. Because I have everything else, set up for PC. I'm not gonna go buy another PlayStation 5. Hook it up over here on the side of the cockpit, so that I don't have to worry about dragging the other one. I have 80-foot cables from my other one over across the room and around and hiding everything. And yeah, I'm not doing it. Not gonna do that. Granted, a PlayStation 5 is way cheaper than getting a computer. But I don't have all the DLCs on. And how much is that game how much is this game? Excuse me. Gonna cost on PC or on PlayStation? I'm gonna say it's gonna be $200. If you bought the bundle, say you bought the board with the all the DLCs. So you have all the maps that were available, and you have base game. That's not counting all the little things like cabin accessories and trailer and truck accessories and all that stuff. We're talking just the base game with the maps. Oh, I would say $200. That's expensive for a PlayStation game. Or you could just buy the base game and have no states. Well, you'd have California, Arizona, Nevada. Original 3. And when it was only those 3 states, boy, it was a lot of trips to Elko, Nevada. And Bakersfield, California. Yeah, lots of trips. I don't know how many times I ran fuel in the beginning. Oh, what am I doing now? All in some kind of liquid. Whether it be fuel, ammonium nitrate, whatever, some kind of chemical to make a bomb, whatever. Kind of fertilizer. Excuse me. But yeah, to buy this all over again. Let's see it. I mean, I believe the PlayStation 5 can do the graphics. Excuse me. To be able to handle the graphics part of it. Because I have... well, I have... On my PS5, I have Microsoft Flight Simulator, like 25, I don't know, one of them, and it looks pretty good. As long as you don't look too closely, you don't look too bad. You know, you're in an airplane, you're flying, whatever. And that one I paid $150 for that one. 130, something like that. I bought the bigger, not the biggest, because that was $200. So that's why I can see that this game, when it comes to console, it's going to be $200 if you buy the big one. And they'll even probably throw in some of the trailer packs, you know, customization stuff. If you buy the big one, we'll give you $5 worth of free shit. It's DLC stuff. These little add-ons don't add up too much. Even in Steam, when they're on sale, they're like, what, $2? You can buy the trailer pack. The Goodyear trailer pack, which is the one I like, because then you get white letter tires. I've always been a fan of white letter tires on vehicles, whether it be off-road or sports. I don't know if because it's the era I grew up in, white letter tires, raised white letters. I talked to some of the younger kids, like there's a kid at work that was 18. Talked to him about that. He's like, what? Never even heard of that. I just laugh. I get a kick out of him because it's only 18. So it's like most of the other people that I work with are in they're around 30 or early 30s. Then there's me, and who's not in my early 30s. I wish. But I don't think I act like I'm my age. I definitely don't act my age. And I think back in history, that's what we call history, in like TV history, right? So back when, now I'm probably hitting some people that they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The Golden Girls, for example. You ever seen the Golden Girls? Those Golden Girls are right about my age. now. In their when they were portraying the character then. But you look at the hairdos and you look at the clothing that they wore, they look at the whatever, and they look older than their actual age. Wow, she was only this old? And even some of like the old, just some old photos, you know. You look so much older when you're my age. And I don't think I look that old. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think I don't look like I'm 75 years old. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think how old I am. This is funny. I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm glad I'm where I'm at. That I've actually gotten to this age, but I didn't think I was going to get here. All the things that I've done, I mean, I never did hard drugs and all that stuff. Physically, things that I've done growing up and whatever, I thought I'd be, those old sayings when your grandpa's like, you're going to feel that one when you get older. He wasn't lying. He was not lying. Spot on that one, Gramps. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself not to do this, not to do this, not to do this. Because you're gonna regret it later. You're gonna wish you didn't do that. Lifting things without help. I'll just go rustling. Gonna regret that one later. You should get somebody to help you. Little things like that. But now you want to race. Alright. Punch it back. You're all in pipe, dude. You shouldn't be. Them straps on that thing are not tight enough. You should check them. That's good. What did I get a ticket? I got a collision offense, $900. Well, that's because the steering wheel fell off my thing. My fault. I mean, indirectly, I guess it is because I didn't bolt it on here. I'll be looking at that this weekend. Using the desk clamps on top of this thing, and really that's a bad idea. This time of night on this game, it's so hard, it's like the headlights aren't even on. Then all of a sudden it gets an hour later, and all of a sudden, now it's, I get ahead of a couple vehicles before they all decide they're going to move over on me. This guy's just gonna go. I knew he was. He's like, yeah, I had my blinker on. I can just do this. I can just turn. You have to stop. Actually, no. I don't have to be that guy. In real life, I would. Then I'm not gonna damage my stuff. But legally, I don't have to. You'd be at fault. My luck, your butt doesn't have any insurance. Paying out of my own pocket to fix my stuff. Oh, they could sue you, or try to sue you for whatever you got, but you got no money. You can't even afford insurance. I'll never get my money. I'll never get my stuff fixed. It'll be out of my pocket anyway. aren't on 80-mile-an-hour roads or whatever. I want to get west. I want to try to get toward California, but everything's going north and south. It's the highest paying job. That's the ones I'm going to take. I need the money and I need the XP. I'm just going to keep grinding and get myself up to truck level. I know by the time I get there, I'll have more than enough for a truck and a garage and a garage. I don't plan on doing like maybe multiple garages, but multiple trucks, I don't know yet. As far as hiring other drivers, maybe down the line. It's all in the future. We're just gonna keep grinding it out. It's just keep grinding it out. And a lot of stop signs, right? Because you can't make any time if you're constantly stopping. But yeah, these younger people that I work with. Well, they've already told me, you're not that age. I'm like, I am. You don't act like it. I'm like, well, that's good. I don't want to act like it. I don't want to be the age I am. I still have a lot of stuff I'd like to get done in my life. Before I'm physically unable to do stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that sneaks up on you fast. I said I don't believe I'm the age I am. But where'd that time go? I was just 30 years old. Very reflective light, it says. No way I'm this old. You know, as a kid, like the 30-year-olds that I'm working with, I'm as old as their parents. In some cases, older than their parents. And they just like looking at me. So, but then they're asking me questions as if I'm a parent or something. I think it's funny. I'm like, I am a parent, but I'm not your parent. You want to talk to somebody and ask them questions, you should ask your parents. You don't want my advice, I'll tell you what. And what am I doing? Look like Dr. Phil to you? Like who? Yeah, exactly. Like I reference movie things and all that stuff. They don't get the movies that I'm referencing because they haven't seen them. You haven't seen this? Nope. Come on. Your parents have been... You were neglected as a child if your parents didn't make you watch this. Yeah, it is what it is. They're friendly people. They are. Well, even with them being younger, they're super nice. One of the best places. It is the best place I've ever worked. As far as the way you're treated, the way you're treated by management, the way you're treated by the employees, coworkers, whatever. It's 100%. You generally don't. It's a small company, though. But you generally don't get that kind of treatment. 100 miles to go. Come on. I worked for a place for a long time. I'm about to say, I worked for a place for 30 years that treated you like crap on almost on a daily basis. I gotta stay. Why? Because I'm an idiot. because it was a job, because it was routine, it was comfort. I don't know what else to, how to explain it. It just was because it was, right? And I would have worked there until I retired. Which is a long ways away yet, but I would have worked there that long. But the work ran out. What I was doing for a job, the demand for that product decreased exponentially. So they don't make it, or very little amount. They don't need a bunch of people there to do it. They only got I think there's like 4 people that worked there. Used to be over 120, 130. Now there's 4. Because the demand for why are we stopped? That lane is going. The demand for the product is gone. Why are we stopped? Some asshole decided he's gonna pull up. Oh, now he's in my lane. You better turn. But yeah, unfortunately, the demand for my product that I was creating, the world went a different direction with the product. It's still being made, but in a different format. But such is life. You know, you think like, well, that's gonna be around forever. No guarantees in anything. But I would have thought, well, it's still always gonna use it. No, they found a different way to make that. I mean, I'm sure there's still places around the world or whatever that do it, but I'm not traveling anywhere to go do it. I was a master. You go by that stage, steps, journeyman, whatever. I was a master level. That skill. But I still am. Now it's been a few years since I've done it, but as I got out of there, I went out on my own. I'm just gonna go. I left on my own because I knew the doors were gonna be, or the ship is sinking, and I wanted to get off before the ship had sunk. A lot of people quit before me, but there was still a couple of handfuls of people left when I left. And I find it funny that after I quit, it was probably resigned, quit, whatever you call it. Look for other employment. That my boss resigned. It was like 5-6 months later, he resigned from his position. I'm like, wow, he must know something too. I just had the inkling that it was going to happen. He apparently did too. Well, again, there's only just a handful of people there. I mean, I'll always be friends with those people, but no longer co-workers. I'll run into them in the store, grocery store, Walmart, whatever. Like, oh my God, what are you doing now? It's not a big town. So you're limited to where you're going to work. The reflection with the high beams. I don't know if it's just me, or because my eyeballs are crap. It's everybody. to read the speed limit signs. Wish you could cut through this parking lot. Yeah. What are we at now? We're at 54 minutes. So we'll be under an hour. So see, this wouldn't even be a live stream. In order to get a live stream out, I would have to take a couple trips, which I guess would be okay too. But I'm gonna wait a little bit. Ugh. I want to get my own truck for sure before I start doing live streams. Which, as you know, takes a while to level up to level 20. Should be like level 10 or something. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, life goes on. And not every job is that safe, I guess. Just keep in mind you can always be replaced. What do you think is going to happen when you die? If you're working and you die, you think they're just going to close the plant because so-and-so passed away? No, they just bring somebody else in to fill their spot. And that's how companies work. They just, okay, we move on. The world doesn't stop just because you didn't work there anymore. They're going to struggle for a while, of course, if you're like one of the key components of the company. But they'll fill your spot. Or train somebody else to do your, do your job. It's gonna struggle because the only person, it's like a lot of companies, their older workforce is retiring and it's a lot of younger workforce. Which, it's sad to say that when they show up, first of all, is one thing, and if they show up is another. And are they actually working when they do show up? Another. Just a different generation. People of my generation appreciate their jobs. People of the younger generation, their only plans of advancing, and that's fine. They're not into a job to work a job for 50 years, right? Get a job when you're 20, retire when you're 70, or whatever. 45 to 50 years in a company. They're not into that. They're going to work for 2 years at this job, then move on to this job, then move on to this job. Or 2 weeks at this job, 1 week at this job. But I do say, as advice, or take it as you want. Life is way too short to be working a job that you fucking hate. Pardon my French. Life is way too short to work a job that you hate. Why would you do that to yourself? When you could go somewhere else. It's just way too short. I wasted 30 years at that company, and I should have gone somewhere else. Way before that. Again, I could have gone somewhere else that was really crappy too. And it wasn't the job itself that I worked. I enjoyed the job. It's just the upper management. Not my boss that I was talking about that retired or resigned. He was all right. It was the other parts of it, the corporate part of it. They were just a-holes. How far we got? We're almost there. Well, I'm going to take this second here. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. If you wanted to say hi, everyone say, hey, I'm new. Hey, welcome. You're now a cheesehead. I'm a Bears fan. I can't be a cheesehead. I accept all football people. I don't care if you're a Bears fan or a Vikings fan or the Lions fan would be our rivals, I guess. More so the Bears. The Bears would be our probably biggest rival. Chicago Bears. Yeah, Bears. Yeah, welcome everybody. I'm not that type. In game, or what you get now is what you get if you met me in real life. I don't change anything. I'm not fake. I tell you how it is. Sometimes by fault, you know. It's like speak before I think about things. Just say it. I'm tired of getting stepped on and walked on. Now I just tell you how I feel. This is BS. This is BS. Like her. Alright, let's get us a third person view so I can see what the hell's going on here. Look at a gate. I don't even like that they start putting these security gates in here. I remember when they first put them in, I was slamming into more gates than anything. Like, oh, I gotta ease up here. Wait for you to open your gate. I'm gonna let you park it. The ignition off. Alright, do I get to level 12? Well, I'm past 11. Shit, I'm level 12. Damn. What am I gonna put on here? I am going to go with high value. I want to try to level these out now. Well, next month we'll work on this one, this one, this one, this one. So then we'll have doubles. And then it'll start going down the line this way, like columns. And like I said, I got fuel economy already done. So we'll see what the next video brings up. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. Check out the link in the description for my Snowrunner channel if you're so inclined. Otherwise, see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.